The year is 1942. Vienna, once the vibrant heart of European culture and intellect, now suffocates under the oppressive shadow of Nazi occupation. For Viktor Frankl, a brilliant young neurologist and psychiatrist, the city he loved, the very cradle of his burgeoning career, has become a gilded cage. He stood at a precipice, not just of his own life, but of an entire civilization teetering on the brink of an abyss. Frankl, just in his late 30s, had already made significant contributions to the field of psychology, challenging the prevailing deterministic views of Freud and Adler. He was developing his own unique school of thought, Logotherapy, a therapeutic approach centered on the human search for meaning. He believed that this innate drive for purpose was the primary motivational force in human beings, even more fundamental than the pursuit of pleasure or power. His days in Vienna were a delicate dance between intellectual pursuit and the escalating terror outside his window. He held seminars, treated patients, and meticulously refined his theories, all while the brutal reality of the Holocaust tightened its grip on his Jewish community. Every knock at the door, every whispered rumor, carried the chill of impending doom. He could have fled. Offers of asylum from the United States had reached him. He had even secured a visa. But a profound moral dilemma tore at him. His elderly parents, his beloved wife, Tilly, their lives were intertwined with his. To leave them would be to sever a part of his soul. He wrestled with his agonizing choice, a decision that would define the rest of his existence. He sought guidance not from academic texts, but from an unlikely source, a piece of marble found in the rubble of a bombed-out synagogue. Etched into its surface were the words of the fourth commandment: "Honor your father and your mother." In that moment, surrounded by destruction, Frankl found his answer. His place was with his family, come what may. This decision, born of deep personal conviction, would lead him down a path of unimaginable suffering, but also to an unparalleled understanding of the human spirit's capacity for resilience. The decision to stay in Vienna, to face the unknown alongside his family, was a testament to Frankl's unwavering commitment to his deepest values. It was a choice that would soon plunge him into the unfathomable depths of human suffering. In September 1942, Viktor Frankl, his wife Tilly, and his parents were arrested and deported to the Theresienstadt concentration camp. This was not an extermination camp, but a ghetto camp designed to deceive the world, a model ghetto where the Nazis attempted to mask their atrocities. Yet even here the conditions were brutal: overcrowding, starvation, disease, and the constant threat of transport to the east, to the death camps. Frankl, with his medical background, was immediately put to work. He treated the sick and the dying, often with little to no resources, witnessing firsthand the physical and psychological toll of systematic dehumanization. But even amidst this horror, his mind, ever seeking meaning, observed. He noticed that those who had a why to live, a purpose beyond their immediate suffering, were often the ones who endured. They clung to a loved one, a piece of unfinished work, a spiritual belief, anything that gave their existence a transcendent dimension. He saw that the true tragedy was not just physical death, but the death of hope, the surrender of inner freedom. In Theresienstadt, Frankl continued to practice his logotherapy, albeit in secret and under dire circumstances. He held clandestine lectures, offering solace and a framework for resilience to his fellow prisoners. He spoke of the importance of maintaining a sense of dignity, of finding meaning even in the most absurd and painful situations. He argued that while the Nazis could strip them of everything, their possessions, their freedom, their very names. They could never take away the ultimate human freedom, the freedom to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. This radical idea, born in the crucible of unimaginable suffering, would become the cornerstone of his later work. He saw individuals who, despite enduring starvation and brutal labor, would share their last crust of bread or offer a word of encouragement. These acts, seemingly small, were monumental testaments to the enduring power of human spirit. They were choices made in the face of absolute despair, demonstrating that even when external freedom is lost, internal freedom can remain.
The true test of Frankl's theories, and indeed of his very being, came with the subsequent deportations. In October 1944, he, his wife, and his parents were separated. His parents were sent to Auschwitz, where they perished. Frankl himself was transported to Auschwitz and then later to Kaufering, a subcamp of Dachau. Here, the systematic dehumanization reached its most grotesque extreme. Life was stripped to its bare essentials, survival, minute by agonizing minute. Forced labor, unimaginable cruelty, and the constant specter of death defined every waking moment. Yet even in this hell on earth, Frankl sought to find a fragment of meaning. He observed his fellow prisoners, those who survived and those who succumbed. He noted a critical distinction. It was not the physically strongest who always endured, nor the most intellectually gifted. Often, it was those who retained a sense of purpose, a reason to live beyond the immediate horror. He ministered to his fellow prisoners, offering what little comfort and wisdom he could, even in secret. He would listen, truly listen to their stories, their hopes, their despair. He saw how hope, even a flicker of it, could sustain life. He understood that the human spirit, when stripped of everything else, still possessed the freedom to choose its attitude. This was the ultimate freedom, the one the Nazis could not take away. In the filth and squalor of the camps, Frankl mentally reconstructed his manuscript, Ärztliche Seelsorge, medical ministry, which he had hidden in Vienna but had been confiscated. He would scribble notes on scraps of paper, on the margins of other documents, constantly rebuilding the theoretical framework of logotherapy, knowing that if he survived, this work had to be preserved. This mental recreation was not merely an intellectual exercise. It was an act of profound defiance, an assertion of his inner world against the external barbarism. He discovered that even a simple thought, a memory of a loved one, or the contemplation of a beautiful sunset could become an act of profound spiritual resistance. As the war drew to a close and the Allied forces advanced, the prisoners in Kaufering faced a new kind of torment, the agonizing anticipation of liberation, mixed with the fear of being caught in the crossfire or eliminated by their captors in a final act of cruelty. For Viktor Frankl, the will to survive was inextricably linked to the hope of reuniting with his wife, Tilly, and of bringing his life's work into the world. In the chaos of the camp's final days, as the Nazi guards began to flee, Frankl experienced a profound and transformative moment. He was no longer just a prisoner. The chains, both physical and psychological, began to loosen. He witnessed acts of both unimaginable brutality and extraordinary compassion among the inmates. He saw men reduced to mere shadows of their former selves, risking their lives to help others. These observations further solidified his belief in the inherent human capacity for goodness, even in the face of absolute evil. Liberation, when it finally came in April 1945, was not the joyous fairy tale he might have once imagined. It was a slow, arduous process of physical and psychological recovery. Frankl,
emaciated and weakened, had to confront the devastating reality of his loss. His parents were gone. His beloved Tilly, her fate remained unknown. Yet amidst this profound grief, his inner resolve, forged in the fires of the Holocaust, remained unbroken. He returned to Vienna, a city scarred and wounded like himself. He learned that Tilly had also perished in the camps. The pain was immense, almost unbearable. But Frankl did not succumb to despair. He channeled his grief into his work, driven by the conviction that his experiences and the insights he had gained held a universal message of hope and resilience. He dedicated himself to completing and publishing his manuscript, which would eventually become the seminal work, Man's Search for Meaning. In its pages, he articulated the core principles of logotherapy, sharing his profound understanding of how individuals can find meaning in all circumstances, even in suffering, and how this search for meaning is the key to human resilience and psychological well-being. His journey from the depths of Auschwitz to becoming a world-renowned psychiatrist and author is a powerful testament to the enduring strength of the human spirit and the transformative power of finding meaning in life.
Upon his return to a shattered Vienna, Viktor Frankl faced the daunting task of rebuilding his life amidst the ruins of war. The loss of his entire family was a wound that would never fully heal. Yet it was precisely from this crucible of suffering that his most profound insights resonated with a world grappling with the aftermath of unimaginable horrors. Man's Search for Meaning, published in 1946, became an instant international bestseller, translated into dozens of languages and touching the lives of millions. In its pages, Frankl did not merely recount his experiences, he articulated a powerful philosophy of hope, resilience, and the fundamental human need for meaning. He argued that even in the most extreme circumstances, when faced with inevitable suffering, individuals retain the freedom to choose their attitude and to find meaning in their experience. This meaning could be found in creating a work or doing a deed, in experiencing something or encountering someone, and even in suffering itself by the attitude we take toward it. Frankl's logotherapy offered a radical alternative to the prevailing psychological theories of the time, emphasizing the human spirit's capacity for self-transcendence and the importance of purpose in overcoming adversity. He lectured extensively around the world, sharing his message of hope and responsibility. He became a beacon of inspiration, demonstrating that even from the darkest depths, the human spirit could emerge with renewed strength and a profound sense of purpose. His work had a profound impact not only on the field of psychology, but also on countless individuals seeking solace and guidance in their own lives. Viktor Frankl's story of resilience and the power of meaning resonated with you? If so, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who might find it inspiring, and subscribe to our channel for more stories of profound human experiences and insights. Don't forget to activate the notification bell so you don't miss our future content. What are your thoughts on finding meaning in difficult times? Share your reflections in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you.